Hey there, Wastelanders. Welcome back to 7 Days in New Vegas. I'm Brother Mike, and today is day 5, and with the next season just 2 days away, now is the perfect time to take a step back and look at Fallout Season 1 as a complete story. Breaking news, the Fallout TV show, as of right now, is releasing 1 day early, so tomorrow will be my last video, and also my review video, so please stay tuned for that. This video is a full recap from beginning to end, covering every major plot point, every key character arc, and what this season is really telling us about the world of Fallout. Whether you're jumping back in for a refresher or watching for the first time, this is everything you need to know before the story continues in Season 2. Fallout Season 1 is set more than 200 years after the Great War, the nuclear apocalypse that wiped out the old world. Civilization didn't just disappear, it fractured. On one side we have the Vaults, sealed underground societies built by Vault-Tec, designed to preserve humanity. On the other, the Surface, a brutal wasteland where survival is earned through violence, trade, or luck. From the very beginning, the show makes one thing clear: the apocalypse didn't change human nature, it just removed the rules. Our story begins inside Vault 33, where we meet Lucy. She's intelligent, optimistic, and raised to believe the Vault system worked exactly as intended. Lucy believes in cooperation and community, and in the idea that the old world failed, but humanity learned from it. That belief is shattered when Vault 33 is attacked. Her father is taken, the Vault's sense of safety completely collapses, and Lucy makes a choice that no Vault dweller is prepared for. She leaves. Lucy steps into the wasteland, not as a warrior, but as an idealist, and someone who still believes people can be better. The Ghoul, a living relic. Out in the wasteland we meet a ghoul, a man who lived before the bombs and survived everything that came after. He's not a hero, he's not a villain, he's a reminder. Through him, the show bridges two eras: pre-war America with corporate greed, propaganda, and blind optimism, and the present wasteland, where those same ideals echo. The ghoul survives. He doesn't fight for causes, he doesn't trust systems. He learned that ideals die faster than people. Maximus in the Brotherhood of Steel. Then there's Maximus, a member of the Brotherhood of Steel. The Brotherhood presents itself as a force of order, protectors of technology and defenders of humanity's fate. But through Maximus we see the truth. The Brotherhood values obedience over morality, power over compassion, and all Maximus wants is just purpose. He wants to believe the Brotherhood stands for something greater. Instead, he learns that institutions don't survive because they're right. They survive because they're strong. Vault-Tec in the big reveal. As the season unfolds, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. Vault-Tec was never about saving humanity. The Vaults weren't shelters, they were experiments. Controlled experiments designed to test obedience, scarcity, and power. The apocalypse wasn't the end of the world, it was the beginning of a long-term plan. Vault-Tec didn't just survive the bombs, they designed a future around them. And that revelation reframes everything: the Vaults, the factions, and even the wasteland itself. The ending, what was really achieved. Season 1 doesn't end with a victory. Lucy gains knowledge, but loses certainty. Maximum gains status, but loses his innocence. The ghoul gains answers, but not an ounce of peace. No one saves the world because Fallout has never been about that. It's about what people do when the world can't be saved. What Season 1 sets up. By the final moments, the show makes the intentions clear. Vault-Tec's shadow still looms. The Brotherhood's power is growing, and the wasteland is on the verge of something bigger. Season 1 wasn't the story, it's just the foundation. Episode by episode recap. Season 1 opens inside Vault 33, a place that represents everything Vault-Tec promised the future would be. Life is orderly, controlled, and almost cheerful. Lucy has grown up believing the Vault system worked, that humanity learned from the mistakes of the old world. That illusion shatters when Vault 33 is attacked. Violence enters a place where violence was never supposed to exist. Lucy's father is taken, and in that moment, the Vault stops being a home. It becomes a cage. Lucy doesn't leave the Vault because she wants adventure. She leaves because the world she trusted no longer exists. Episode 2, The Wasteland Reality Check. Episode 2 is Lucy's brutal introduction to the surface. The Wasteland is nothing like the Vault records described. It's cruel, lawless, and unforgiving. Every interaction forces Lucy to confront the hard truth. Kindness isn't currency out here. Survival is. This episode establishes the central conflict of her character. Lucy believes in cooperation, but the world rewards violence. Episode 3, The Ghoul and the Old World Ghosts. This episode shifts focus to the Ghoul, and through him we glimpse pre-war America. We see the optimism before the bombs, the corporate lies, the propaganda, and the arrogance that led to humanity's destruction. In the present, the Ghoul is ruthless, efficient, and emotionally closed off. He survives because he expects the worst from everyone, and the Wasteland constantly proves him right. This episode makes one thing clear. The Ghoul didn't become a monster because of radiation. He became one because the world demanded it. Episode 4, Maximus and the Brotherhood of Steel. Episode 4 brings the Brotherhood of Steel into full focus. Through Maximus, we see the Brotherhood not as heroes, but as an institution obsessed with power, obedience, and control. Maximus wants purpose. He wants to believe he's fighting for something meaningful. Instead, he's rewarded for violence and punished for compassion. This episode plants the seed of doubt that will follow Maximus for the rest of the season and potentially in the next. Episode 5, Vault-Tec Shadow. Episode 5 begins pulling back the curtain of Vault-Tec. The Vaults weren't designed to save everyone, they were designed to test them. Social experiments, psychological control, long-term planning. Suddenly, Lucy's upbringing feels less like protection and more like conditioning. The question shifts from, did the Vaults fail, to, did they ever intend to fully succeed? Episode 6, Collisions and Consequences. In Episode 6, storylines begin to collide. Factions clash, loyalties are tested, and characters are forced to act on what they believe, not what they were taught. Lucy starts making hard decisions, Maximus starts questioning orders, and the Ghoul starts letting people get closer than he ever has before, and everybody pays a price. Episode 7, Truths Revealed. Episode 7 is about revelation. Motivations that were hidden come into light. Vault-Tec's influence becomes undeniable. The past, the present, fully emerge, and the characters realize they're not just surviving the Wasteland, they're living in a system that never ended. Episode 8, No Winners, Only Survivors. The finale doesn't give us closure. Lucy gains knowledge, but loses certainty. Maximum gains status, but loses faith. And the Ghoul gains answers, but not an ounce of peace. The world isn't saved because Fallout has never been about saving the world. It's about deciding how to live in what's left of it. Season 2 predictions, where the characters are headed. Lucy, the death of innocence, but not hope. Going into Season 2, Lucy is no longer sheltered, but she's not broken either. I think that we're going to see Lucy fully pushed to her absolute limit. She'll start realizing that her way of thinking doesn't always work in the Wasteland, but it's the only thing she has. I think that there will be a moment where Lucy almost abandons everything she believes in, and then realizes something important. If she really wants her reality to be true, she has to live it, even when the world around her refuses to. The Ghoul, compassion as a liability. I think the Ghoul is going to continue opening up, especially towards Lucy. But compassion is a dangerous thing out in the Wasteland. The more he cares, the more vulnerable he becomes. I don't think their relationship will be peaceful. I think they'll clash, feud, and maybe even turn on each other. Because the Ghoul knows how the world works, and Lucy represents everything that he's lost. Maximus, leaving the Brotherhood. Maximus's uncertainty with the Brotherhood of Steel isn't going away. If anything, it's going to get a whole lot worse. I genuinely think we're headed towards Maximus leaving the Brotherhood. Maybe running, maybe defecting, but I know he wants meaning, not authority, and the Brotherhood only understands power. At some point, he'll have to choose between who he is and who the Brotherhood wants him to be. Thaddeus, something new is coming. And then there's Thaddeus. I think Thaddeus is going to be far more important next season. The way he's exposed to mutation is completely different from anything else we've seen before in the Fallout universe, besides the way you become a ghoul in Fallout 76. But I don't think he's going to become just a standard ghoul, and I don't think he's going to become just a normal super mutant. I think we're seeing the beginning of something closer to a Herald-style transformation. A slow evolution into something new, something unique. Not a monster, not a man, but something that represents the wasteland itself. And that's just a short recap of Fallout Season 1, the story from beginning to end, and going over some of the characters. With Season 2 just 2 days away now, the question isn't who survives, it's who changes. This has been your 5th day in New Vegas. I know we weren't in Vegas too much, but I had to go over the story before the show came out. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. I've been Brother Mike. If you did enjoy this, please like, comment, and consider subscribing. And stay safe out there, Wastelanders.